Now, in the newsroom, Martin Lewis.
The hijacked Kuwaiti airliner took off from Larnaca Airport in Cyprus 15 minutes ago, bound for Algeria. Earlier this evening, the plane was refueled and 12 hostages were released. Doctors say they are unharmed, although they are dehydrated and exhausted. The Cypriot government say they've been promised that the 32 hostages still on board the plane will be released when the plane arrives in Algiers. But a senior Kuwaiti spokesman in Cyprus said he had no idea whether the other hostages would be freed when the plane lands. And the hijackers themselves say they have not given up their demand for the release of 17 Arab prisoners in Kuwait. The flight to Algeria is expected to take 4 hours. A PLO official who was involved in negotiating the deal said that after the plane arrived in Algiers, things would be okay for everyone.
There had been rumours, but nothing more. Then suddenly, with just a few seconds' warning from conversations between the control tower and the hijackers, the steps were driven out to the aircraft. For an hour, there were negotiations between the PLO officials and the hijackers on the aircraft. Then 12 passengers were allowed to leave, all of them walking, apparently without help, and as a fuel tanker moved in what was obviously a carefully worked out and timed operation, the released passengers boarded the ambulances that were to take them on the short journey to Larnaca Hospital in safety. None seem to have been physically harmed.
What do you do there?
Nothing. Sit down. Only sit down to seat. Eat in a seat, sleep in a seat, nothing more.
Did they hurt you?
No.
No beating you?
No.
Other passengers?
No.
Meanwhile, the hijackers were discussing with the control tower their destination.
To land at Algiers.
Whilst refueling was taking place, pre-flight checks were being made on the aircraft. There was a final disagreement about the actual destination, which airport in Algeria should be used, but that was quickly settled. At the hospital, the hostages were apparently in better shape than might have been expected. Morning local time, it left Cyprus as the hijacking entered its 9th day. The ordeal for many of the passengers is not quite over, but there is every expectation that it soon will be.
And a statement from the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs in Kuwait says that the Emir of Kuwait had telephone contact with the President of Algeria, and the Prime Minister of Kuwait also spoke to the President. Following this, Algeria agreed to receive the hijacked plane. The Minister of State of Kuwait extends all thanks to the President of Algeria, the Chairman of the PLO, Yasser Arafat, and to the Cypriot government. Now, on the line now from Larnaca is Keith Graves. Keith, there are conflicting signs, despite everything, as to the hijackers' intentions. We have a PLO official saying in Algiers it will be okay for everyone. We have the hijackers saying our journey goes on. And we also have the hijacked Kuwaiti Airlines jetliner, an Algerian government official, before the jetliner took off, saying that the air pirates want to find a solution to the drama in the neutral Arab nation. What's going on? What do you think is going on?
Well, as you say, there's a lot of confusion, and like you, we at this end, now the aircraft has gone, are trying to sort out exactly what is going to happen. We've just been talking to a spokesman for the Cypriot government who seems quite confident that they have got assurances from the hijackers that when the aircraft lands in Algiers, all will be well. There'll be no harm befalling any of the passengers. And yet, the last word we heard from the hijackers, just as the aircraft was starting to roll before it actually took off, was a message in Arabic from that voice we've come to know so well in the past few days, speaking in Arabic this time, and saying that they did stand by their demands and they were still prepared to die to meet those demands. Now, maybe they're arguing semantics, or maybe they're trying to save face, or maybe someone somewhere has misread the situation. But as you say, there's a total conflict, and I think we won't know for another 4 hours' time. We'll have to wait and see what happens when the aircraft lands in Algiers.
We are certain, Keith, that it is going to Algiers. They could, after all, change destinations in mid-air, couldn't they?
Well, it's about 25 minutes less than that flying time from here to Beirut. And a lot of people, as we stood on the rooftop of the airport terminal and watched it taking off a few minutes ago, a lot of people were saying, well, they could be half an hour, and they do in fact have enough fuel on board, we understand, for between 5 and 8 hours. So it could all start again. I don't think it's going to. I think the aircraft certainly at the moment seems to be heading for Algiers. There is no indication from the air traffic controllers here at Larnaca, who are monitoring its progress, that it's headed in the wrong direction. They're absolutely opposite directions. That possibility, though, was in everybody's mind here.
Keith, we do hear that Beirut airport is closed and that the air traffic control tower there has said that the hijacked jet is routed across Athens and across Rome and then down into Algiers.
Yes, that's what the routing was, and before they took off, they asked for all the details for that sort of flight path. They even asked for the plans of the airport in Algiers, because this crew had never landed there before. And as I say, the information we have from the control tower here is that the aircraft is heading for Algiers. I would expect that the Algerians themselves, the Cypriots, the Kuwaitis, although they don't have much influence over the hijackers, but everyone involved has got pretty safe assurances that that's what's going to happen. But then these people are totally unpredictable, so nothing can be ruled out.
Keith, thank you very much indeed. We will, of course, be monitoring the plane's progress throughout the night. Thank you. And you can, of course, see more news on the hijack in breakfast time, starting at 7 o'clock. But that's all from the BBC Newsroom tonight. Good night.
Well, now let's take a look at our weather. Wintry showers will continue overnight in northern Britain, with a few patches of rain or sleet extending into some central and eastern parts of England. There will be a widespread frost in the east. Wednesday will begin rather cloudy in some places, but as on recent days, the south and west will be brighter with fairly sunny skies. Western Scotland will soon become wet, with rain moving northeast during the day and turning to snow on the mountains. Temperatures generally will be a little lower than recently, ranging from 6 centigrade, 43 Fahrenheit in the far north, to 12 centigrade, 54 Fahrenheit in the sunnier southern parts. Now, here's our lineup of programmes for tomorrow night on BBC One, starting at 7 with Wogan, who will be joined by Sir David Lean and Peter Ustinov. At 7:35, the clothes show features buttons and bras, and a chance to meet the costume designer of Ziegfeld, the West End's lavish new musical. Well, it's Farlow's Follies that follow in Dallas at 8, and, would you believe, Miss Ellie hits the bottle. Anne Robinson saves you bottling up your opinions on television programmes by airing your points of view at 8:50, and after the 9 o'clock news, QED at 9:30 explains how the ad men have grouped us consumers into 4 lifestyle groups.